What's going on, ASM family? Welcome to episode 2 of From My Experience. Tonight, you're going to get to hear from a senior in high school, and he's going to share a little bit of his experience and lessons that he's learned all throughout his years of school. And so I need you to stay tuned, watch the entire video, because I think you'll learn something. So enjoy, and we'll see you back next time.
Hi guys, I'm Nick Barron, and I'm a graduating senior here at the Assembly. I just wanted to tell you a few things that I've learned throughout high school. You may not know this about me, but 1, I'm homeschooled, and 2, I have moved 4 times out of 4 years of high school. In freshman year, I lived in Ohio, then I went to Pennsylvania, Virginia, and now Georgia. And I just wanted to tell you a few things of what I've learned. I've moved before Ohio, but one thing is that before my junior year in high school, I was always angry with God for the times in which He called us to move, and I would just question God, why are you making me uproot my whole life that I've made in this place to just throw it away and then have to restart at the next place? So I began to question Him, and I made to try and rebel against God. I made games idle in my life. Video games. I spent unhealthy amount of times on them. If I didn't play them that day, I was angry. If I played them, I became even more angry. So out of all of this, I guess a question finally broke through in my junior year before we moved, and I asked my dad, what if it's not God's will in my life to move with y'all? And he said, if it wasn't God's will for me to move with them, then I wouldn't be in their family. And that really opened my eyes, because if you think about it, God thought 6,000 years ago that I was not going to be born in 2000 BC. I was going to be born in 2002 into the family in which God placed me, to then be moved to the specific spots where all these other families were in the specific spots, so that I could share the light of Jesus to them in all those different spots. And it just really changed my perspective a lot. Keyword change. One thing I've learned is that change is completely inevitable. It can come in many different forms, from losing a loved one to not hanging out with the same group of friends, or even just changing your favorite flavor of ice cream. The most important thing is how we handle that change. We can decide to run from God and become angry with Him. We can close off the ones that God has placed around us to help us through those times. We can become bitter. We can rebel. Or the obvious choice here is, the better choice is to run straight to God and put our trust in Him. Because everything is for God's glory that happens in our life. It says in Romans 8:28, and we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to His purpose. No matter what happens in our life, whether it be that loved one who perishes, or friends that stop hanging out with you, or even enemies that have come up against you, all of these different things bring change, but they're for God's glory. In our lifetime, we may never see it, or we might see it the next day, why it's happened in our life. For me, for the first 9 years of moving, I did not know why I was moving. I was angry, but then afterwards, now looking back, if I hadn't have moved, I would not have met thousands of friends that I have been able to know and enjoyed spending time with. No matter what, all of these things in our life, whether it be the loved one we lost or the friends that we've changed hanging out with, later in our life hopefully we'll be able to see the purpose in which it was there for. We may never see the purpose, but if you do, because I can look back at it and I have enjoyed the moments that I've spent with all of the different friends from Ohio, Utah, Virginia, Pennsylvania here, and I'm thankful for the times in which God has moved us and my family to those spots. One reason that change does come is because it allows us to connect with people who have the same stories. I'm able to connect with people who have been lonely, who have moved a lot, who are struggling to find their way and want to really follow after God. If you just look at Job, he's a great example in the Bible how when change hit him, it hit him hard. I'm just going to say he lost approximately billions of dollars in wealth. He lost his whole family in the same day, and he lost his health. And he stayed. His trust stayed with God, and at the end, he finally asked God, "Why is this happening to me?" And the craziest thing is God doesn't answer why. I believe it's because Job wouldn't be able to really handle the why. So God answered him with the who he was. He showed Job all that he does in a day, and he asked Job, do you even think you'd be able to do this for just one day? And I believe personally that what happened to Job was so that later in life and thousands of years later, someone can read that book and find some answers to their own questions in their life. One thing that change is it's for our testimony. In Revelation 12:11, and they conquered him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, for they loved not their lives even unto death. Now real quick, who is him? Him obviously is the devil, and he's the one who tries to bring a different change into our life that can make us decide to run from God or run to him. And we always want to do the run to him, because some weapons that have been formed against us, they won't prosper. They may hurt you at the time, but later in life you can use that to lead someone to Christ or to lead them into a new season in their life. Because all change is for our testimony. If you think about it, our testimony, if we were to wake up, eat, and sleep, that's not really much of a testimony if you do that for every single day of your life. But say you're a close one to you died of a disease, you can, and you overcame that through Jesus. You're able to say, my testimony is this, and you can help someone later in life who struggled with that, and show them how Jesus is the answer. But so I want to close here and say that high school brings change. It may not be as drastic as all my examples I've given, but it does bring change. Don't be like my 9th and 10th grade me who ran from God and became angry with him. I pray that you'll be like my 11th and 12th grade me who sought after God and trusted him in everything that happened. Even if it stinks at the time, just understand that this life is all for God. And if you trust him, I'm sure that the next years of high school will be great. Now let me pray real quick. Lord, I pray right now that every person that hears this message that I'm speaking tonight on Wednesday, Lord, I pray that you would just touch them and bless them. You would give them the strength to trust in you, and you would guide them into their next journey and chapter of their life. In Jesus' name, amen.
At the start, before the beginning of time, with no point of reference, you spoke to the dark, fleshed out the wonder of light. And as you speak, 100 million galaxies were born. In the vapor of your breath, the planets form. If the stars are made to worship, so will I. see your heart in everything you say. Every painted sky is signal fire of grace. If creation still obeys you, so will I. So bright. If the mountains bow in reverence, so high. If the oceans roar your grace, so will I. For if everything exists to lift you high, so will I. If the wind goes where you're sending, so will I. At the start, before the beginning of time. With no point of reference, you spoke to the dark, fleshed out the wonder of light. My God, that is who you are. You are here, touching every heart. And I worship you, I worship you. You are here, healing every heart. I worship you.
Thank you guys for watching this week's episode of From My Experience. We hope you join us back here next week for the third and final episode of From My Experience. It's going to be awesome. Don't forget to hit that notification bell, smash that like button, 2020 style, boom, boom, and subscribe for more here at ASMTV. Peace.